Welcome to We're Talking Bears, the show where uncle, nephew, and son bring you the latest in the Chicago Bears experience. I'm Uncle.
I'm nephew.
His son is out shooting down cheeseheads. Oh,
Hope
man,
so.
man. You know, it's hard to be mad at that game. It's hard to be mad at that game. Um, it was an honorable effort. We fought till the last tick of the clock against a good team that'll be in the playoffs. But we just seem to come up short all the time. We're coming up short. We're coming up super short against bad teams. And we're coming up short right on the edge of beating good teams. And, we're just missing, like they used to say in basketball a lot, missing a piece. We're missing a piece.
Yeah. And that's what is unfortunate to me, to be able to be competitive against good teams and be able to lose against teams that aren't good teams. It makes me feel like we need to find our identity. Um, but yeah, this one was tough, man. I'm not gonna lie. The Packers game was tough. As a Chicago Bears fan, you don't ever want to lose to the Packers. When you have an opportunity to win, you want to get that win. And it's just so sad, man. I was ready to walk up and down Michigan Avenue in Chicago and see all the guys that are the Chicago Packers fans. It's like you live in Chicago, but you're a Packers fan. I was ready to tell them about themselves, as I always am. And I couldn't. And I couldn't because we didn't come away with the victory, even though we were so close. So
And,
close.
and I'm gonna tell you what makes it worse. I made a bet with one of those Chicago Packers fans. Ended
Mm.
up having to walk around the job with a Packers hat around.
Mm.
Man, that hurt, man. That hurt.
I
People
would
were like, "Yo,
have I would have accidentally fell into the fire. But oops, I didn't do
in the." I was like, I'm gonna hand it back to him wet from the bathroom.
it. Something, man, because that's awful. And you know what? It was really disgusting, man, because I'm not going to lie to you. We always show love to our boy on this show, Cairo Santos.
Yes,
And
yeah,
it wasn't his fault. And it's in my opinion. When we're talking
yeah.
Bears, I'm
That
going to
was
say that. It
First
wasn't
of
his fault.
all, it was a bad call by the refs. Bad call by the refs, but or bad no call.
Right.
But I placed that back on Flus, and I'll tell you why. Because Flus should have been on the phone with the leagues because the Packers pulled the same crap against the Vikings
Mm.
the week before. And we should have looked at that film and been like, nah, that's not the way the rule works. You can't send everybody up the middle.
Right.
You can't, the center, the way they made the rule, the center has the right to hike the ball and get his head up. You can't rush him with his head down, the long snapper. They went right through that guy
They went
and
right.
they bent his neck down further.
It looked bad. It
It
looked
was
really
bad.
bad. It
Now the
looked really
rest of the line didn't hold.
right.
Man, you are offensive lineman. You got to hold your own. And as I looked back over the game, even on the punts, there was way too much penetration. We didn't get a punt block, but there was so much penetration it was dangerous.
Yeah.
We're back to the same sentence. We've got offensive line problems.
Big problems.
Those are our starting offensive linemen getting shoved around. Just you're a 320-pound man that works out all the time. You should not be getting shoved around. I don't care that these guys are all pros on the other side. They're not all pros.
Right.
We're getting shoved around. We didn't win the trenches. And it came back to bite us again, yet again.
Yet
We
again.
did everything we were supposed to do, save the one thing in Tom Brady, who was somehow our announcer. Don't know how that worked out. But Tom said it. He was like 30 seconds left. Clock is stopped. Um, because they stopped the clock, what, for measurement or something, or Green Bay called a timeout, or I forget why, or they were, arguing that we didn't make the catch. I think Green Bay called a timeout so they could look at the Keenan Allen catch
Yeah.
because they didn't want to, or they might have challenged it. But I don't think they challenged it. I think they just called a timeout so they could review it. But that gave us a free timeout at 30 seconds, right? Which stopped the clock. So here we are, 30 seconds. We can aggressively attack on 2 plays. And you might not move the ball a lot, but you might get 15 or 20. You might get a score.
Right.
And we just decided not to. We ran that one play. And then after we ran the one run that really wasn't an attempt to run the ball, but just to move over and get the clock running, we didn't really try to run the ball. Right. I think we could have got outside around a corner on that, but we didn't really try. And then we just stood there and watched 25 seconds tick off the clock. And then Tom Brady was saying it during the announcement. He's like, "They're not going to go for more yards. You can run the ball again. You might even be able to run it twice." He's like, Cairo's a great kicker, but I'd get it closer. Here's a guy, 7 Super Bowl rings going, "Hey, man, this doesn't make any sense. It's not football." We're sitting at home going, "This doesn't make any sense. It's not football." And our coaches can't seem to figure this out. And do we look substantially better than we did when the season began? Yes, we do. We absolutely. That was an honorable performance. Yeah. But yeah. Do we really want to win the moral victory Super Bowl?
And I'm not gonna lie, there are no such things as moral victories when you play the Green Bay Cheeseheads. Period. Those are games we got to win. And you know what? What was unfortunate is in the first quarter, and I went back and looked at it. Cairo was actually a little bit further on the kick in the first quarter, the field goal he made, than at the end of the game. And to me, yeah, the refs missed the call, but you gotta be prepared to win the game. You got to give the guy an opportunity to make that kick. And I feel like Cairo, that was in his range. I'm completely disappointed that we didn't go for another play with time on the clock and we still had a timeout. So it's not like we were in jeopardy of having to try to figure out a way to rush a kickoff. But I don't know. It's like I'm conflicted. On one hand, I do blame Flus. I blame them for not running another play, getting more yards. I'm sure we could have gotten more yards, but I also know this is a kick that Cairo Santos makes. And this is it within his range. At no point when we got to that range and we let the clock tick down and then we decided to go for that field goal, I was not worried because I know Santos makes these all the time. He makes these in his sleep. And so, I don't know if it's, I understand that the defense isn't supposed to be able to go over the center as they did. 2 guys actually went over the center, but
it was at least 2.
At least.
I think it was 3.
You're probably right. But what's messed up is like there's always something. I feel like you get what I'm saying. And it's such a great game, and it's just what I'm saying. Coming off those bye weeks, coming off the bye week, those 3 games we played when we lost all 3, and I was saying I was confident in our team going into the division games. If we were able to do good in those games, if we were able to win at least 2 out of those 3, I would have been extremely confident. And we showed that we are competitive. We can beat these teams. We're in the game with them. It comes down to a field goal. The difference in this to me isn't, the Bears just aren't able to win, or, you get PTSD from losing so much. And it's like, it's the Bears and they're going to blow the game. But that's exactly what it feels like, because it wasn't anything about us being able to win. We were in the game. Caleb did a good job converting on fourth down.
Great job.
No interceptions. And so it's just unfortunate, man. We got down there. We got Santos into range. We got into a position where any other time, looking at the personnel we have on our team, I expect us to win that game. But it's almost like we find a way to lose.
Do you feel that we took our foot off the gas?
Absolutely. I keep saying this. I would have gone for more yards. We had a timeout. I would have at least tried something, tried to push for more yards, just because even though I know that's in Cairo Santos' range, I'm not stopping right here. I have a timeout. I want to get more yards out of this and make the kick as easy of a kick as we can possibly make for you. So that's what I would have done.
I truly feel like we took our foot off the gas because, here we are, all right, Cairo got sacked on first. Not Cairo. Caleb got sacked on first. Caleb gets sacked on second. Mentioning the sack on second, that Rashawn Gary sack on second down. He power bull rushed Jones, Braxton Jones, and made Braxton Jones still show that he's still bad against the bull rush. Better than he used to be, but bad. And half of it is I'm sitting back here going, I need to see more like that from Montez Sweat. Montez only has 3.5 sacks this year. I know he has a huge effect on the games. And when he's in there, we usually never give up more than 20. But he's got to get to the quarterback more often. He's got to have moments like Rashawn Gary just had, where game's on the line and he just powers through a man. Nonetheless, Caleb makes the incredible play where he ducks under and gets the ball to Rome to get most of all those, to get all that sack yardage back and some and get us close. And then the next play, incredible play to Rome on the back shoulder to get us near midfield. And then an incredible shot under deep, serious pressure in an all-out blitz to hit Keenan to let him dig the ball out of the ground like a shortstop. Beautiful, beautiful work on everything. And then all of a sudden we're done. Wait. We're just barely in field goal range. We got them on their heels. And then we're just, okay, we're good. And that's how you lose. That's when something goes wrong. When it always does it. I'll never forget the Flying Illini before they really even earned the name the Flying Illini, before they were before they went to the Final Four and lost in the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
But we used to sit back and talk about the coach Lou Henson, about how he would always take his foot off the pedal. We're like, how are you up by 20 with 10 minutes left and you're either struggling to win or lose?
Right.
And you have these incredible athletes. And he just slowed the game down. This is the Flying Illini. They were balling out. Kendall Gill, Nick Anderson, Lowell Hamilton, those guys, Marcus Liberty, those guys. And they were all swing guys, and they all flew up in the Steve Bardo flew up and down the court, flying, dunking, shooting, tossing, alley-ooping. And then come near the end of the game, we're up by 15 or something, and all of a sudden, coach was like, all right, slow it down and play a half-court game. And next thing you know, we're trying to pull the game out. We're down by 1 point with 30 seconds left. You're like, what are you thinking?
Right.
Why are you intentionally taking your foot off the gas? You could win by 35. You're trying to make a game of it for the other team. This is the mentality. Why, when you get in a rhythm, you go bam, bam, bam. You hit them 3 times hard. Their defense is on their heels. They're calling a timeout because they're nervous and they don't know what's going on. Why you stop attacking?
Right.
Man. Let me read you some of the numbers from the games. You won't believe that we lost. First downs.
I couldn't believe we lost.
All right, you tell me which team has what. First downs, 19, 23. Who's got what?
We got 23.
We got 23. Third down efficiency, 1 of 5, 9 of 16.
We got 9 of 16.
We got 9 of 16. Fourth down efficiency, 0 of 1, 3 of 3.
That's ridiculous. That's
it's
ridiculous.
Up, 3 of 3. Total plays, 43 to 68. Now, the only thing, we gave up 3 sacks. They only gave up 1.
We had 68 plays to 43?
Yeah.
Oh my
problem
God.
is, here's your problem. You know what the problem is. Problem is, doggone, Christian Watson, 4 plays, 150 yards.
Oh, he smoked us. Christian Watson smoked us. He smoked us.
4 plays, 150 yards.
That's crazy.
One man single-handedly flipped we were beating them in every category except sacks. Total yards, 391 to 366. Rushing yards, 179 to 106. I mean, honestly, at the end, just run the ball a couple times.
Yep.
If you look down and you see we got 179 yards on the ground, I'm running it trying to pick up some more.
Right.
Don't
Right.
get conservative. Finish them off. You know, it's like MMA. You don't go to the ground on MMA and then like wait and see if the guy's gonna put you in an arm bar. You take him to the ground, you ground and pound.
Right.
I mean, what MMA fighter would take a guy to the ground and then just relax?
The Bears. The Bears.
I'm frustrated.
You know what? It's disgusting, man. And these losses, I don't know. To me, you can't script these losses any different. Like if this is a movie, I feel like I'm in the Wizard of Oz or something, or Fantasyland, because there's no way. There's no way, man. There's no way. I don't know. I just feel like these are games we got to win. I feel like if we were able to beat the Packers, if we're able to win games in our division, we're a totally different team. But I believe that this all comes down to identity, because the fact that we can do well against the Packers and, have an opportunity to win that game against them, and yet the Packers beat teams that nobody looks at the Bears right now with the way that we're floundering in this season. Nobody looks at us and is worried about us. But when you look at the teams that we're competitive against that are good teams, there's no reason they shouldn't. It's not like we can't win games. We just aren't winning games. It's just so unfortunate, because if I remember games, we're talking Bears, when we said, hey, take the points. Let's Cairo Santos kick the ball. We know what we're capable of when it comes to Santos. He makes these kicks. And it's just insane to think like that we get in these games and it's almost like something has to go wrong for us. Like if there's one thing that can happen, you get what I'm saying? Like if I was on the other side, if it was the Bears and we let them get into range and all they have to do is make a kick and they have a great kicker back there, I'm nervous and you get what I'm saying? But
Right.
when it's the Bears and we have an opportunity to win, it's almost like, well, no, something will happen and we won't be able to accomplish what we need to accomplish. And that's the sad part for me, man. That's the sad part. I can't stand the Packers. I cannot stand the Packers. I cannot, and I'm not the only one, but I cannot stand the Packers.
And yellow. They deserve those colors. Man.
Vomit colors.
This is embarrassing. Their coach, Matt LaFleur, is 11-0 against us. We have never beat Matt LaFleur. Never.
That is crazy.
Sheesh. It's embarrassing. Before, back when Urlacher and the boys were playing, we were so far ahead of them on wins, it was stupid.
Right. Yep.
Now, we can't win once. We haven't beaten Matt LaFleur once. We're being out-coached.
And that's all it is.
We haven't beaten their coach, no matter who's on the field.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
You know, and you know what? I mean, if Flus isn't the most resilient guy in the world, he is. But it's the little stuff. It's killing us. And it's not just Flus. It's the big little things are the biggest guys on the team, the offensive line, in the trenches. Look at this on the trenches. So Montez, great player, no argument, but he's only got 3.5 sacks this year, and we're 10 games in. Gervon, 4 sacks, 10 games in. DeMarcus, 3.5 sacks, 10 game in. Billings had 1 before he got injured. Taylor has 2, 10 games in. Booker's got 1. It's just, ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. I mean, what else can you say?
I can't say anything. I'm hanging my head in disgust, man, because if it's one game you can give me in the year that would change my perspective and my outlook on the Bears, just beat these Packers, please. Please. Please.
And I don't mean to go back and scream, but why weren't we in the bidding for Josh Jacobs?
He probably cost more than what we got.
DeAndre wasn't cheap. And when you look at Josh, he's bigger, stronger, and can catch. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler and 1-time All-Pro. And he was the offensive rookie of the year. And I mean, DeAndre is good, but he's not keeping up with Josh. He's not. No, numbers wise, DeAndre's best season was 1,000 yards on the ground. Josh Jacobs, best season, 1,600 yards.
Sheesh.
1,600. He's got 940 or 840 yards this year.
Man.
He had 1,600 yards. Why weren't we going after that cat? I literally was saying my list was Saquon, not number one. My list was Henry, number one, Saquon, number two, and Josh, number three. I said, one of those three guys. And we go pull out DeAndre. He's not in the same conversation with those three men. Those three men are game changers.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. He had better yards per carry this game than Jacobs, if I'm not mistaken. But at the end of the day, there's no excuses, man.
He doesn't make the same level of impact, and he hasn't throughout his career. I'm not mad that we have him, and Roschon is a good thunder to his lightning, but I don't want to be average.
Right.
We downgraded Khalil Herbert and Demo.
Yep.
Were a better rushing pair. Why are we downgrading?
Yeah, no. I don't know. I think it only comes down to them not knowing their personnel well, and in an attempt to keep their jobs. It's like, oh, we need a better running back. We need a better quarterback. We need this. We need that. And they're wrong. They miss so much, man. These guys come back and kill us too. When we see them again, they come back and remind us how good they were with us, and we let them go. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But once again, I wasn't disappointed with Caleb. I felt like Caleb looked good. He's protecting the ball. I'm happy about it. These are just games we got to win. And what's crazy is Caleb was fired up, man. When he was able to connect with Rome and get the ball down there inside of Santos's range, he's supposed to be able to confidently know, hey, you did what you were supposed to do. You got these guys in range. All they have to do is make the field goal. We walk away with a victory.
Caleb looked great. I can't take that away
playing.
from him. Caleb looked great. One, he's going to be a 3,000-yard passer. I mean, unless he gets injured, he's going to break 3,000. We've got a slew of games left. He's going to be a 3,000-yard passer. He might hit 4,000.
Right.
He might. It's not mathematically impossible. He'd have to have a couple really good games in the mix. But he could hit 4, but I don't think he is. I expect him to end up about 3,500. Yeah. But that's still really good for a rookie. I'm not mad at you. But man, he's gonna come out with a decent percentage as far as completion percentage. He's averaging about 62%. Maybe I think he's been increasing that a little bit. He might end around 64%, which is reasonable. Rookie quarterback. He's learned not throw the ball away. We just gotta throw more touchdowns.
Yeah.
Gotta throw more touchdowns. And I think that'll come too. But so. I'm not mad. Look, if we just get close and Roschon runs the ball in, a point's a point.
Right.
And we get inside the 5, we better have Roschon out there. And let's not forget we got rid of our
Yep.
Man. So we just and we're not a better run team for the changes. That's my problem. I'm not just whining for old people. Like, sit back, look. At this point, Caleb's outperforming Justin from a passing standpoint. So I can't argue with you. If he continues to do that the rest of the season,
Right.
then you made the right decision. Running the ball, you didn't make the right decision. We're not better. We're significantly worse. The team that had our number one is murdering the entire NFL with it. The Lions are killing it. And don't let Demo come in and hurt us on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. You know he's going to be gunning for us. At least that's...
You know he is. He's going to be trying to get that turducken. You know he is. Well, that's all I got to say. You got anything else?
Man, I don't have anything. I just know we got to play these guys again. I at least want to take one of these two games, the matchup against the Packers. This season is
to lose.
Say it again.
LaFleur needs to lose. We need to beat him.
We absolutely need to beat him. But my thing is, it starts somewhere, and I feel like unfortunately, once again, I can't. There's always too much that we can say about the coach in these close games versus being like, oh, our guys just didn't win. Because I'm okay with that. I'm okay when you get outplayed, you get outmatched. I'm okay with that. But when we're sitting back, and again, like I said, I'm an advocate for the fact that I felt like that kick was in Santos's range. When we let the clock tick out and we didn't decide to kick the ball, I knew Santos was going to get us that victory. But in reality, we need to start having games where it's like, all right, the coach put you in the position to win. He did everything that he needs to do to put you in position to win. Now all you have to do is come and get the game winner. And unfortunately, it's too many issues where we're saying, oh, well, the coach should have called this type of play or the coach should have called another play. And in this instance, I don't have any opposition to that. Even though I know Caleb, that's well within his range, he's capable of making that kick. We need to come out and show teams that we're not playing. And when you're afraid and when you play with fear, this is what it looks like. And it's just unfortunate. When you play scared, this is what scared football looks like. Granted, we could have made the kick, but you're playing scared. We also could have got in for 6. Put the defense in a position where they have to come out and play ball. Don't make it easy on them where they can just say, okay, they're not gonna run another play. We just got to get out here and get our hands up. The special teams, because our offensive line, we already know what the issues are with our offensive line. We already know what the issues are when it comes to protecting the quarterback, when it comes to protecting the line of scrimmage and what we look like in the trenches. So we need to do everything we need to do to eliminate those possible problems, and we didn't do that this week. And it's unfortunate because once again, in the toughest division in football, we had an opportunity to show that we're an elite team in that division and that we're the best team in that division, and we didn't do it. And I'm disgusted. So I don't have much else to say, man, but I just hope the Bears can get this figured out. Flus, with every day, to me, Flus's seat is getting hotter. He's still sitting in that hot seat.
He can't be any hotter.
He's still sitting in that hot seat from St. C outside of Miss Wilson's office. You know what I'm saying? Where the bad kids get to be. He's still sitting there, and it's almost expulsion time. It's almost time to find yourself a new home. And
you can't get any hotter.
You can't
get any hotter. This is, hey, honestly, I think this was like the last possible turnaround point to count. Like if we could have turned it around and maybe even gone 4-2 in the division, and pretty much run the table on the other non-divisional games and ended up, even if we ended up 9-8, but if we were 9-8 and we went 4-2 in our division, people would be scared of us in the playoffs. They're like, oh, how did they turn this around? Because they would have taken a full turnaround. I mean, we were so close. You don't take your foot off the gas and maybe you win. The other thing I wanted to add before we go with taking your foot off the gas, one, the players relax.
Yeah.
2, the defense realizes that you're afraid of them. Right. Those are two horribly negative things. Momentum can swing on that play, and it did. It did. The players, they went from nervous, breaking what do you call those things? Breaking surface tablets and throwing helmets around to celebrating. that we're not supposed to let anybody. You let them off the hook, and we've done it all year. All year.
We are who they thought we were.
We are who they
Unfortunately.
thought we were, and this has been man. It is. I'm going to settle back to the sentence. It's not Justin's fault that we only had 7 wins last year.
It was not. It was not.
It's not. It's not. And when you sit back, even Tom Brady said this. He's like, he's not a fan of anointing a person a starter in May. He's like, this guy, he's like, he brought up Peyton Manning. And he said, I don't know if you heard him talk about it. He said, Peyton Manning's story was they asked him, hey, you're number 1 overall. You got all this bonus money. What are you going to do? Peyton said, what about? You heard it?
Yeah, I heard it.
I'm going to earn it.
I'm going to earn it.
I'm going to earn it.
I'm here to play ball. That's it.
And I think Caleb's here to play ball. He's balling out.
I know he is.
He's balling out. He's balling out. He got all this crazy other stuff going on. Like Dennis Rodman, we've seen this before. I don't care. Play ball.
Right.
And he's balling out. He's balling out. He's doing his job. Look, I just said don't be at least in the top 22 guys on the team. He's definitely solid in the top 15. Unfortunately, the 5 guys in front of him are not as good as him.
Right.
All right. Well, I'm Uncle.
I'm Nephew.
And we're talking Bears. Bear down.
Bear down.